Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss types of organizations. So students, organizations can be of two types, formal organization and informal organization. So today's topic of discussion is formal organization. Students, formal word is connected with formalities. So that organization in which there are a number of formalities, such organization is called as formal organization, where there are a number of formalities and everyone has to follow the formalities. Or you can say there are number of rules and regulations which are required to be followed by everyone. Now, I am coming to the technical definition of the formal organization. Formal organization is that type of organization structure which is designed and established by top management so that organization's objective can be achieved. It is a type of organization, but in the definition we are saying it is a structure, because this type of organization is having a framework under which all activities are performed. But it is different from two type of organization structure, that is functional and divisional. Don't get confused. Structures are different, that is functional and divisional structure, and types of organizations are different. These are formal and informal. So I think the meaning is clear to all. Again I am telling you in very short, formal organization is that type of organization structure which is established and designed by top management so that objectives can be achieved. Now students, we are moving to the features of formal organization. See, the first feature of formal organization, it is deliberately created by top management. Yes, formal organizations are created by top management deliberately so that the organization can function smoothly. Second feature is it specifies relationship among various jobs. Formal organizations specifies the relationship among various jobs. Means under it everyone is very much clear what are their jobs, and they are clear who is their boss, from whom they have to take order and to whom they have to report. Everyone is clear these things. Third feature of formal organization, it places more emphasis on work. Formal organizations place more emphasis on work rather than personal relationship among employees. It doesn't give any emphasis on maintaining personal relationship. No importance is given to that. Only importance is given to work performance. Next is efforts of various departments are interrelated, coordinated and integrated. Under formal organization, efforts of every department are connected to each other. They are interlinked, coordinated and integrated to each other. Next is communication takes place through scalar chain. Under formal organization, messages are communicated through scalar chain. Any lower level person cannot contact to top level person directly. They have to follow the scalar chain. So students, these are the features of formal organization. Now we are moving to the advantages of formal organization. Now see the first advantage, fixation of responsibilities. Under formal organization, jobs of everyone are clearly defined, and if any of the job is not done properly, then concerned authority will be held responsible, because management is very much clear, because everything is clear to management that who has to perform which task. If any of the task is not performed, then who is the responsible? This is also clear here. Now the second advantage is clarity of duties. Everyone is very much clear what are their duties, what they have to perform, from whom they have to take order and to whom they have to report. Next is unity of command. Principle of unity of command is followed strictly. Unity of command means one employee can receive order from one boss in one time, and the management gives due attention to this unity of command so that work can be completed on time. Next is accomplishment of organizational goals. Under formal organization, a proper framework is given to the operations of the organization, that everybody has to do their work under that framework. All the rules and regulations are clearly defined. Everybody perform their work by considering the rules and regulations. In this way, every activity completed on time and it helps in achieving the organizational goals. Now, the last advantage is stability. As everyone is performing their role according to the plans, policies, rules and regulation, it gives more stability to the organization, and organization is able to survive for the long time. So these are the advantages of formal organization. Now we are moving towards disadvantages. So the first disadvantage is procedural delays. As every activity is performed according to the rules and regulations, and if anybody has to send any message, they have to follow the scalar chain, as well as every message is given in writing. All these things results in procedural delays. Second is lack of initiative. Under formal organization, no importance is given to employees' talent and creativity. All have to go according to the predefined plans and policies. That's why no importance is given to anybody's talent. So that's why there is lack of initiative. Nobody wants to give their suggestion as no importance is given to their ideas. Next is difficult to fully understand human relationships. In the formal organization, more importance is given to the work performance. No importance is given to the human relationships. That's why management is not able to understand the human feelings as well as relationship of employees with other employees. There is no importance given and nobody is maintaining their human relationships. Nobody is able to maintain the human relationships because these things are not allowed in such organizations. So here class, disadvantages of formal organizations are over. I hope the topic is clear to everyone. Even then, if you have any doubt, you can discuss with me. Okay class, thank you.